the way he writes, I mean, the language is incredibly familiar. It's the same, It's one of the things about we would always make fun of the way people talked a long time ago. Wherefore art thou? Like there's a way of talking that we don't communicate like today. But when Marcus Aurelius writes, and if you read Meditations, it seems very current.
Well, it does depend on the translation, right? Because like if you are reading, and people do this, is I'll recommend Marcus Aurelius, and they'll just get what's free on the internet or whatever. If you're reading a translation from the 1850s or the 1600s, it's going to be in Shakespearean English because,
interesting,
right? Because they're translating it into their
vernacular.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Who is he talking about? Wait. Is he talking about some writer that's like 400 years old? And he's like, Marcus Aurelius. I don't even know when the fuck this dude was around. Oh. Wait. Right. No, you ever saw Gladiator? No, I didn't. An emperor of Rome. He must have misunderstood.
People talked a long time ago. Wherefore art thou? Like there's a way of talking.
Okay, hold on. Jesus, Destiny really doesn't know history of the male 400 years. Destiny actually has zero history understanding. Here's something that I've noticed that you guys think you're clever when you do this. Half of the time when you guys say like there's an obvious historical fact that you don't know, Destiny, you don't know history, you don't know any more of the history either. You just happen to watch some shitty fucking like Mel Gibson movie that I missed, and now you think you know history because you know the name of some dude in some fucking movie that I never saw, okay? Fuck you, all right? Aurelius's Meditations is like uber-cited Destiny, and it's a bit memeified at this point. And then someone in my YouTube channel is like, super famous philosopher. Shut the fuck up. 90% of the time I bring up prescriptive statement. I've got to tell you guys what that fucking means. Don't sit here and pretend like all you're like, oh yeah, well, in my survey of philosophical literature over the past 2,000 years course, I remember every single thing. Like, get the fuck out of here, you guys are posers, okay? Stop it. Fuck me. I can't, dude. Fuck. I'm trying to do like emails and shit. And somebody linked me to this. Fuck. Vaush he needs to stop being so entertaining, okay? Because now I look obsessed, okay? I look obsessed, okay? But I stumbled into the end of this stream. I just stumbled into the end of this stream. And it's just.
Like, well, you find the truth of things like the way we did with water. Okay, but that you're referring to a fact of the world, not categorizing those facts. So an example would be, if you take a look at the periodic table, everything here is a fact of the world. The number of protons and atomic weight and everything, like that's a fact of the world that exists whether or not we do, okay? But the decision to group noble gases, don't get me wrong, noble gases do have plenty of things in common. I don't know what they are. I'm not a chemist. They do have things in common, but the reason we grouped them, we didn't group them because like the universe distinguished them. The only reason the periodic table is shaped this way is because of human need.
August Fair, at the editing machine, okay. We got flowered Vaush content to talk about.
This is like the, I just think it's funny that he probably stumbles into literally like the worst possible example of anything in all of science and mathematics to say that the arrangement is arbitrary. I can't even go over this. Apparently later he says like aliens wouldn't recognize anything or whatever. I remember I've made this argument before. I'm pretty sure that if we found aliens, they would have a periodic table of elements that we would be able to communicate. Like periodic table of elements and like fundamental mathematical axioms are going to be like probably the two things you could probably communicate between races. This whole stream is just very, very, very funny to me. My camera's off. Oh, if I try to turn it on, it's going to crash my stream.
Wondered why one with hydrogen starts over 2, and then helium is on the other side all the way.
I mean, there are reasons for these things. It's not just arbitrary.
Over here, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We grouped it arbitrarily in order.
It is probably the worst use of the word arbitrary that I've ever heard in my entire life. If you haven't learned anything about chemistry or whatever, like the periodic table of elements is an incredibly cool thing. The way that things are arranged here is very purposeful. You can predict, like, if you know things about if you know things about everything in a given column, especially when we're talking about like noble gases or I don't remember what they call these. These over here are like highly reactive. I don't even know what they're called, but I know they're highly reactive because every element over here is missing just one electron from its outer shell. So it's going to react with things around it like very violently sometimes, right? Or the noble gases are very stable. Why are they stable? Because their outer shells are full. You can make like so many predictions of properties of things literally just based on their position on the periodic table of elements. There's not like a... It's not arbitrary. Or if you want to say this is arbitrary, then you have like you are the word arbitrary means nothing. Listening to him deconstruct language is just so interesting. Like everything is a social construct and everything is arbitrary and nothing is anything, and as long as it's utilitarian good, it's good. This is just like the funniest fucking shit. Like you can probably predict elements that don't even exist yet just based on the composition of the element, right? This is just very funny to me. I'm sorry, fuck. I don't know why I went live for this. Just listening to this has been insane. I said before that I thought that Mendeleev predicted an element no one knew existed perfectly based on the setup. Yeah. I mean, of course, it's how it works. It's how atomic structure works. It's just, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done. I'm leaving. Fuck. I didn't want to do more Vaush stuff tomorrow. I thought we were just going to do whatever, but this debate, I said before, it's like, I'm pretty sure Vaush is like pretty smart. I'll give him that. But man, the audacity to go against a philosophy dude about a gender sex distinction. Do you think at least, I'm probably going to read this guy's paper. This guy's written a paper, on gender sex distinction. Did Vaush at least read the guy's paper? He published this 3 years ago. Do you think he at least read the dude's paper before going into the debate? Or did he think he was just gonna wing this against a PhD philosophy dude? Like, no way, come on. You didn't even do like a modicum of research? Because holy shit. If you honestly expect, and it's so funny listening to streamers, I probably was guilty of this at some point. I probably still do this every now and then. But like the streamers reinventing philosophy because for reasons this is just the funniest shit. Oh man, this is gonna be tomorrow's content is figured out, boy. We're gonna be eating good tomorrow. He said verbatim, "Why would I prepare?" Oh man. Did he debate that person? Yeah, I only caught like a piece of it because I was trying to do emails and shit. I ended my stream early to do emails, and it was rough. But
in order to like collect elements that have similar features, but their similarity is determined by our perception of their usefulness. You know what I mean?
Like our perception of the kind of. I mean, but like, damn, dude, when you're hitting the, oh my gosh. Okay, it was just funny to me that he stumbles upon like what is like probably the worst thing in all of fucking science to stumble upon and call arbitrary. Okay, I love you guys. We're gonna cappuccino,